Take a drive up Route 3 along the western shore of Lake Winnipesaukee till you get to Meredith. You'll know when you get there that something special is going on. Even in tough economic times, the hotels are filled with tourists in all 4 seasons. The waterfront is lively and Main Street is thriving. But it hasn't always been such a pretty picture. Like so many New England villages, Meredith fell on hard times as manufacturing moved out. By the mid-1970s, the downtown was dilapidated, the old mill building in the center of town was derelict, and Main Street was beginning to fold from pressure of new retail centers closer to the interstate.
Yeah, Meredith was a place to drive through. Nobody stopped, nobody stayed, there was no place to stay, really.
Enter Rusty McClear, a young Vermonter come to Meredith to learn the ways of hospitality.
I moved here in 1971, literally to work in a hotel to learn the business, and then I was going to go back to Vermont.
About this time, a group of locals came together to shape a new vision for Meredith, to use zoning tools to limit sprawling development along the town's major roads. They had some success, yet Meredith's Main Street continued its downward slide.
It was fairly bleak. There was just an awful lot of vacancies, and there wasn't any real investment going on the Main Street.
By the 1980s, the town's decline brought a group of business leaders, civic groups, and town officials together to develop a master plan. Their vision was to focus new growth and economic development in the downtown core, along Main Street and the waterfront. Right at the heart of town was the old linen mill, now a rundown asbestos products plant.
The Ametex site itself was in the middle of town, on a road that had 18 or 20,000 cars a day, overlooked the lake, had a waterfall in the middle of it, had an almost 200-year-old 16,000 square foot wooden mill building that was in great shape. So it had all of that. Now that was all encapsulated in these crappy old cinder block buildings. Not only was it not attractive, it wasn't very safe. Our plan talked about what Meredith would be like or could be like if that asbestos factory was not there anymore.
Guided by the comprehensive plan and spurred by a large dose of vision and persistence, Rusty's company bought the Ametex site, invested millions of dollars in its renovation, and opened the Inn at Mill Falls in 1985. At the same time, the town and civic groups stepped up investment in the downtown.
This here was a burnt out, boarded up, 2.5, 3-story brick building that was a nightmare. And this thing was front and center right here in the downtown. And a group of folks known as Latchkey Charities got together, working with the town and some other folks to try to find a way to get this thing dealt with. So we got rid of the bombed out building, and then this building got rehabbed into various retail spaces. And this is known as Community Park. It's kind of like a nice little public space here on our Main Street. It butts up to the canal that runs through the downtown here. Before this, we had nothing. We had no green spaces in the immediate downtown area.
By the 1990s, the town was sinking even more money where its master plan was, investing in waterfront docks, parking, sidewalks, and new buildings, all targeted to making the town center more functional and attractive. But Meredith recognized that a healthy community isn't just about a vibrant Main Street. It also needs a balanced rural landscape of working farms, recreation, and conservation land. One such effort was conserving more than 600 acres of prime land known as the Moulton Farm.
Public funds were raised to the tune of about $1 million, and then even with things as difficult as they were, we were able to pass a $400,000 long-term bond through the town to complete the purchase.
When we try to advocate for compact development and smart growth and things like that, you have to realize that there are things outside of that aren't less important. They're just handled in a different way. Visual scenic resources, water quality, conservation, recreation, things of that sort. So you have to look at it as a continuum. Here's your compact village center, here's some highway commercial, here's how we address the rural areas. And this is a centerpiece of it, but it's not all of it.
Despite its widespread benefits, Meredith's turnaround has also created challenges.
A healthy community demands that there's housing available for all the people who live there. Not everybody can own a lakefront mansion, and you need people to clean it and service it. There was a group of employers led by Rusty McClear and other business leaders who had businesses that required a workforce that didn't have housing in that town. And they recognized that their workforce was in fact jeopardized when you don't have employees that can find or maintain housing. Near that same time, there was a citizens constituent group, and they reached out and asked us to come. And finally, the municipal leadership reached out and asked us if there was also a way that we could help them develop housing.
Together, the town and the Laconia Area Community Land Trust have just completed the Pinecrest Apartments near the community center. 32 units of workforce-priced apartments that are LEED certified as energy efficient and sustainably built.
I have so much respect for the Meredith community. It's not about the land trust staff going in and doing the deal. It's the municipal, it's the churches, the social service agencies, the employers. It's this vast array of folk who have a knowledge of the community, a commitment to the community, and resources to share. And it's that collective collaboration that makes it happen.
Some might say that Meredith's success is singular because the lake is such a draw. But can it be a model where good planning, community spirit, and compact design come together?
An important point to emphasize is it's one project at a time, one planning board application at a time. It's one little project after another that collectively, 20 some odd years later, has made a difference.